Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Be the Wolf. Today, I want to talk about just in case strategies, safety net strategies, those things that you do in your business to help protect you. Like, obviously, insurance is a just in case strategy, and that's something that you need for your business in most cases. But I want to talk to you about if your just in case strategy, your safety net, if it's holding your business back. Because let's face it, there's a lot of things that people do in business that end up costing them more than they save them. And these are the little things that you don't realize are costing you because logically they seem really, really smart. Like, it's really smart for me to have a big savings account to make sure that if the shit hits the fan, that everything will be okay. Logically, that seems great. But there's something in the thinking that could be holding your business back. And I want to talk to you about that. So, we have all experienced loss. If you've gotten to the point where you own a business and you haven't experienced loss, then you are a very strange anomaly, my friend. And for most people experiencing loss, whether it's a loss of a family member, a loss of a pet, a loss of your favorite toy or a friend, these things feel not so great. They feel like crap, really. We don't want to lose the things that we think help keep us safe, that help keep us happy, that make us feel good. So we've all had that experience. And because of that, most people are afraid of what they will lose because they felt that heartbreak of losing something. It could be a business deal. It could be, the people in LA are experiencing a lot of loss right now. Their home, their memories, their pictures, all of these things tied up in this. So we as humans, we have a tendency to do things to prevent loss because we've experienced it before and it sucked and we don't want to experience it again. And this is why the insurance business thrives, because if people weren't afraid of loss, they wouldn't bother with insurance. So let me talk to you about some of your just in case strategies, some of your safety nets that typical people, business owners use. A savings account is a big one. Buying more product than you actually need right now. And that comes from maybe a fear of what might happen if you run out. Oh my goodness, we will lose so many customers if we run out. And so a lot of people will buy more product than they need, or they'll buy more product than they actually have demand for because they haven't tested the waters because they were too scared of running out. I've been there. I've been there. And I'm sure that some of you listening have also done that, where now you're sitting on a bunch of inventory that you can't move. So you wasted a bunch of money, you wasted space, and this is causing a negative impact in your business. Another one is saying yes to jobs or opportunities that are bigger than you can handle. Kind Bar, I'm sure you've seen the Kind Bars in the grocery stores and the corner stores and the bodegas out there. And this company took off. There all of a sudden was big demand, and the owner of the company, he tried to fill the demand, but he couldn't meet it. So he had to sell off part of his company so that he had enough money so that he could actually produce enough to meet the demand. Years later, he ended up buying back the part of his company that he sold off. And he will tell you, you can read up on this online. He will say that he grew too fast and that was a mistake on his part. So he had the issue of saying no when he couldn't meet the demand. And so that's a big thing that happens with people when they have things like this happen. They get the windfall and they're not realistic about whether they can handle it or not. And because maybe they can't see and they can't look ahead, and maybe they don't have, there are many reasons for this. Maybe they don't have a really good grasp on what their business can handle. They make a mistake and take on more than they can handle. And the reason people do that is because they're thinking ahead and like, oh my God, what am I going to lose if I don't take on this opportunity? And so they say yes as a safety net because they think they will lose something if they don't say yes. And this plays out in various different ways for different people. Everybody has a different mind and different strategies about how they work and what motivates and drives the decisions. But these are some examples of how saying yes to bigger jobs or opportunities than you can handle is an example of trying to create a safety net. Another one is waiting till you have enough money before you take a leap or jump into an opportunity. And of course, obviously, we want to have the money before we buy something, but sometimes people will save and save and save, and they'll never do the thing. So maybe they're trying to buy into a coaching program. Maybe they're trying to buy into my coaching program. Oh, I need to wait until I have enough money. And they're just trying to save and save and save before they have enough, and then they get enough. But then they don't want to part with it because they're afraid of what they will lose. Again, coming back to this feeling of loss. And so a lot of times people will continue to stockpile that money because they feel that if they spend it on the thing that they want that will drive their business forward, they don't think that they'll have enough of a safety net because now they have a little safety net and they don't want to lose it. Buying in bulk, obviously, we talked about that. Buying more product than you actually need. But if you're a person who geeks out on your Costco membership, you might have a safety net problem. Just saying. There's this place where when you feel like you need to get the best possible deal at all times, no matter how much you have to buy to get it, and you feel good about that great deal, sometimes that is actually going to be an Achilles heel in business. And then this is a big one for entrepreneurs out there, using lots of strategies, lots of money-making strategies, multiple revenue streams. You might have 5 different revenue streams, and maybe you're doing Facebook ads and YouTube ads and newspaper ads and all of these different things, but you're utilizing a whole lot of strategies. And maybe none of those strategies are yielding really well. And you're very concerned about having many, many revenue streams. If this is you, and these things seem really important to have and to do, you might have a problem with your safety net, your just in case strategies holding your business back. Now, I can't judge. I've been there. I was the queen of safety net strategies. I mean, I used to walk into a room and without even knowing it, I had 15 backup plans for anything that might happen. And I ran my businesses the same way, 18 steps ahead and figuring out everything that could possibly go wrong and trying to account for that actually held me back. Now it seems, remember I said a lot of this stuff seems very logical, very smart even. Like, oh, I'm working on this strategy or this funnel or this marketing plan, and I'm looking all these steps ahead to look for the potential problems. And if I account for these problems that are 8 steps ahead, then it's going to be really great and I'm going to do way better than I would have, right? That seems logical. But here's the thing. You're worried about what you're going to lose and you're not dealing with what is real right now. So for me, I was figuring out these strategies and I was thinking, well, and then when I have more business, more clients, then I'm going to need to do it this way. So why don't I just do it that way now so that I don't have to deal with that later? And I'm thinking I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm thinking I'm being smart. I'm thinking I'm optimizing and making the best use of my strategy, the best use of my time. The reality is, I'm not optimizing for where I am right now. Like if I had 0 clients, I can't be optimizing my marketing strategy for when I have 20 clients or a full client load. Like that doesn't make sense because I'm going to be optimizing for something they don't even have. I'm dealing with something that's not even real. So if you're looking more than 1 or 2 steps ahead and optimizing your strategies based on that, you are going to cause a problem because you're not working with what you have right now. You're worried about what you're going to lose in the future. I'm going to lose time if I have to re-optimize this strategy again once I have 20 clients. You're dealing with something you don't even have when you have 0 clients. So you have to start with where you are right now. A strategy that works well for having 0 clients is not going to be the same strategy, and it's not going to be optimized the same way as when you have 20 clients. Or if you have a very small business that's doing 10K a month versus a business that's doing 100K a month. Very different strategies about how you move through. But if you have that 10K a month business and you're trying to optimize for how your business would work when you have 100K coming in, you're going to miss opportunities for growth. You're going to miss revenue opportunities. And more than likely, your business will start moving down from that 10K a month down to less than 10K. Because every step along the way, there are these points where you plateau. And plateauing is a point where you've got to look at potentially shifting up your strategy. But you've got to work with where you are. So that safety net thing of looking ahead to make sure that all your bases are covered under every circumstance is not going to help you. You have to deal with the circumstance you have right now. Again, I get it. I was there. I had many, many safety nets. And one of my safety nets was keeping my job, keeping my regular job. And in fact, at one point, I had 5 jobs because I had had experiences of loss like everybody else, of jobs that I loved working at, that I felt was providing my needs, gave me income to work on my business on the side. That job went away. It went out of business. The owner lost the lease and there was some stuff. And then I had another job that was terrible, but I stayed there. And then that job went out of business because the owner just ran into the ground. And so I had this experience of losing these jobs, my safety nets. And of course, I couldn't make my businesses work back in those days because so many issues. And if you've been listening to me for a while, you've heard plenty of the reasons. But the core reason was ultimately that my success zone was too small. And of course, you hear me talk about that all the time. Your success zone is going to match the success that you actually have in your life. And if you don't have the success you want, you know that your success zone is too small. Okay, So going back to, I had 5 jobs, and it was because I was afraid if I lost one job, then I would have a safety net of having the other jobs. And so this was my just in case thing that didn't make me happy. It just made me constantly scrambling and not being able to focus on trying to create what I wanted to create, which was success in my business. I was busy running around trying to keep everything safe, to make sure all my just in case things were running and okay so that I would be safe. 18,000 insurance policies, if you will. So, when you're thinking about buying into something that might help your business, maybe you're going to buy a program, work with a coach, you're going to expand. You want to start to think about the difference between what you will lose and what you will gain, what you think you lack and what you're trying to create. So, if you're worried about what you will lose, there's a good chance that you're riding into that safety net just in case strategy. If you're thinking about what you can create, there's a good chance that you're not doing that. But you also need to find the balance. Okay. If you have a lot of debt in your business and you don't have any money in your business, it might not be the best time to buy into something. So, working with what you have, again, coming back to that, work with what you have. But if you have the money to do it and you're freaking out about what you're going to lose because you feel like that safety net needs to keep you safe, that little money that you were going to spend on expansion or the program, you're not going to ever grow your business because you're always going to be worried about what you're going to lose. These are people, a simple example, right? I just talked about it within myself, keeping my job to make sure that I have enough money coming in and I can live and I can survive, and never taking the leap or never really pushing forward because I let that safety net keep me small. People would always say to me, "Oh, well, if your business doesn't work out," when I finally took the leap and really started trying to make my business work and I quit the safety net jobs, people would always say to me, "Well, you could always go back to your XYZ job if it doesn't work out." And this shows you that people really have that mentality across the board. You probably heard it when you took your entrepreneurial leap, unless you were in an entrepreneurial family, because people really are scared of letting go of that safety net. And, of course, I know what feels like when somebody says that to you. It makes you feel inside like they don't believe in you, like they don't believe that you can do it. But I promise you, you can do it if you believe in yourself and you shut out that noise. And if you're thinking that in your head, well, I can go back to my XYZ job if it doesn't work out, you're probably not putting your all into your business. If that is in the back of your head, that's a safety net that's causing you to split your focus and not really focus on making your business work because you have a backup plan. A lot of times when you have no backup plan is when you will actually do the thing that's necessary to get to the next level. Now, I'm not saying don't have a savings account. Don't have more than one money making strategy or more than one revenue strategy, but focus on the one and make it work first before you bring in another. Don't half-ass your strategies. Don't have one revenue income that's kind of working and then think and adding another one is going to keep you safe. Get the one you have working well. And to do that, you've got to dig into what you're not doing to make it work well. People say, oh, well, Facebook ads don't work, or oh, organic social media doesn't work. Oh, door knocking, cold calling doesn't work. Yes, it all works. if it's not working for you, there's something going on with you internally, with the size of your success zone, with your decision-making mechanism or your employee mindset that's making it not work. You're in your own way. If all your safety nets were gone and you had to do it, trust me, you would make it work. I'm going to say that again. If all your safety nets were gone and you absolutely had to do it, you would figure out a way to make it work. So there's something going on. If it's not working, there's something going on with your success zone and you're not doing what you need to do to make it work. So having a safety net isn't going to make something work. Now, ideally, you get to this place where you can have what you might call a safety net. I like to call it an opportunity fund. Like maybe you have 6 months of operating revenue in savings. So instead of calling it savings, you might call it your opportunity fund, or your creation fund is a good one. So if the shit hits the fan, you have the opportunity to fix it. You have the opportunity to create something out of everything that crumbled. And so beginning to think about your safety nets in that way as a possibility, as an opportunity, as the building blocks for creating the next thing. So if you start to look at it in that way, you shift your mindset. So there actually are stats. If you do keep your job and gradually grow your business, that your business is 33% more likely to be successful. And the reason is the entrepreneurs that do that, they're looking not as their job as a safety net. They're looking at it as something that allows them to create. Like it gives them the ability to pay their bills, which allows them the space to create in their business and build in their business, as opposed to, I have to make this work. It becomes a want to. And if you're feeling like your business is a have to, you're not creating. You're operating and thinking about what you're going to lose. And that, my friend, is not going to help you grow. Now, it's not your fault. You know, we have been trained. This is all a scarcity mindset, that just in case strategy. We've got advertising drilling it in. This scarcity mindset that, oh my God, what's going to happen if blah, 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 XYZ, if I lose this, I lose that. And what if I don't have enough? And this mindset has been drilled into you left and right. It's drilled into you through advertising. It is drilled into you through marketing. It is going to push your little, I'm afraid of what I'm going to lose buttons all over the place. And we've also been trained to rely on things outside of us, as opposed to just doing the thing that will get it done. Oh, I'm going to rely on my safety net job. I'm going to rely on my savings account. I'm going to rely on this strategy that's going to fix everything for me. The person on the ad said that it would fix all my money problems, and now it's not working for me. I don't understand why. This comes from this idea that we need something to save us, to help us. If you just go to college, then you will get the job and you will have a happy life. Just do this thing and work for other people. And if you don't feel like you're being treated well, suck it up, buttercup. That's just the way it is. We know this is a mentality. This is super boomer mentality, even Gen X mentality. This is all part of this scarcity mindset. Well, suck it up because there's not going to be anything better for you. You should be grateful. That's a big one, right? You hear that? You have a good job. You have a good business. You have a happy wife or good children, blah, blah, blah. You should be happy. You have everything to be grateful for. But if you're not feeling fulfilled and satisfied, there's something wrong. But they tell you that there's nothing else out there. But there is. There's so much out there. There's so much abundance and fulfillment and joy and creativity and all of the things that you've been craving, all the things that you went into business for, hoping to get, that you probably didn't even know that you were hoping to get. Compromise is another piece of scarcity mindset. Like you just have to compromise. It's all about compromise. Sorry, you don't get to have everything that you want. You can, but you've got to understand exactly what it is that you want. And most people don't know. So they end up giving up the thing that's most important. And they don't know how to create true win-wins. I promise you it's possible to create true win-wins. And my favorite thing that scarcity has been drilled into us is be good and you'll go to heaven. You have to be this certain way, even if it's not the way that makes your heart happy. You have to follow these rules and then you will go to heaven. So do this and you will get this reward. This is a big piece of the employee mindset. You've probably heard me talk about that. So do this thing, go to college, work for other people, and then you will be okay. Be good and you will go to heaven. Instead of taking responsibility for yourself and your business and doing what truly makes you feel satisfied and happy. And I'm not talking about at the expense of other people. I'm not talking about just trample all over other people, don't care who you hurt in the process to take care of yourself. I said there's a way to do a true win-win. You don't have to take from other people to get what you want. And I know we've been modeled that model, the super rich people that you see in the news all the time. They've been portrayed as they take from the little person or they take from others, and that's why they have so much money and so much wealth. It's not like that. I'm not saying there aren't people who do that, absolutely, but there are plenty of people who don't. You probably just don't see them in the news because it doesn't make a good story. It's not going to trigger you and make you feel like, ah! Okay. So remember, the stuff, it's not your fault that you have this stuff going on because it has been drilled into you since you were a little kid. And we are, as humans, the only people, the only creatures who do this. You may have read the book, Who Moved My Cheese, where it talks about how the rats go, the cheese is in the same spot and they go through the maze and they find the cheese over and over. But then when the cheese is not there a couple of times, they move on and they go somewhere else. The lone wolf also, everybody has said that the lone wolf was shunned and ostracized from the pack. But the truth is the lone wolf was the one who said, oh, my needs are not being met here. So I'm going to go out and find a mate and start my own pack. Very entrepreneurial, if you will. So the lone wolf goes out and they take a responsibility for their experience. Their needs are not being met in the pack. So they leave and start their own thing. And when you, as an entrepreneur, are trying to have the safety net, it's like you're being the lone wolf who's trying to start your own thing, but I'm going to just drag my pack along with me. It doesn't work that way. You got to let go. So again, thinking of your safety net, savings accounts, types of things as opportunity funds. You know, it's okay to have them. It's great to have them. If the shit hits the fan, you have overflow to build with, to create with. And as humans, the benefit that we have over the animals, over the rats and the wolves, is that we can look ahead. We can look at our spreadsheet and see, oh, I'm going to need some more money down the line. So what can I do now to create that? And we can look and be prepared in a balanced way so that we're creating the space to continue to create and build, not because we're afraid of what we're going to lose. This is about balance. And the thing is the more balanced you are, the more calmly you're able to make these decisions from a place of neutrality instead of being scared of what you're going to lose, you will feel calm. You will make decisions that are balanced, where you're not swinging too hard to the safety net side and not being too overzealous with the risks and the overspending. You'll be able to actually make clear-headed, level decisions. So if you're having trouble with that, if you're making decisions feeling a little bit scared or worried about what you're going to lose, or if you're getting really grandiose ideas about, oh my gosh, well, if I just buy all this product, then I'm going to sell it all, even though maybe it's a huge step in your business that's maybe bigger than you can handle just yet. Remember the kind bar example. So again, it's about coming into that place of balance. And when you feel balanced, you're more able to make balanced and good business decisions. So I have a free guide out there for you that has some tips to help keep you balanced, be able to make those decisions about the kinds of safety nets that you have, the just in case strategies. When you can master these 3 secrets in this guide, you will automatically make better business decisions that create more balance, more abundance, less scarcity in your business. You can grab this guide at BeTheWolfGift.com. Type it in, open up the browsers right now, get it done. BeTheWolfGift.com. You'll get the 3 secrets the business gurus never talk about. And again, that will help you to create balance in your safety net strategies, your just in case strategies. Okay, everybody. Thanks for listening today, and we will see you next time on Be the Wolf. And of course, remember, when you unleash the power of you, humanity evolves. I'll see you later. Bye.